Hey, what's up everyone? Been a while. I thought I'd make a quick video on a pick I've been having a lot of fun with and I've not seen anyone else talk about. I think the pick is still under like 0.4% pick rate on analytics, so yeah, pretty under the radar, so to say. And that is Annie Support. Now, Annie Support hasn't been playable or good for a very long time, but I've been having a lot more success with it recently because of the rune Deathfire Touch. I'll get into why in a bit, but just in terms of the build, it's very simple really. You just want to go into malignance with CDR boots for the lower flash cooldown, and then you go rylais, normally pick up anti-heal if you need it here or there, and then your third item, you'll rarely get to it, but you'll probably either want to go Leandry's or the magic resist shred item if they've got a bit more MR. In terms of the skill order, you want to put a point in E level 1 most of the time, then you want to put another point into E at level 3, and then just max Q. I'll get onto why exactly that skill order in a bit, but E is pretty bad to put skill points into. That when you used to play Annie Support last time it was playable, you would max E, but this time you're just going into a more normal damage support type build. But there's still a lot of utility going on here, and I've had a lot of success with it. So I'm just going to talk for a bit while this clip of level 1 and 2 plays. Now, the idea behind the shield first and with the Deathfire Touch is that you'll notice your shield actually applies to both Deathfire Touch and Scorch and any other runes or anything going on. And Annie also has a very high auto attack rate, so just look how I'm autoing Lulu and Ashe all the time through here, and for the most part they can't really, I mistimed the shield there, they mostly can't react back. With the runes you're also going to take attack speed runes and move speed shards. That's very important. You'll notice I have 0 ability power, level 1, and then you want flat HP because Annie is extremely squishy. You're also notably not taking Ignite, you want Heal, and the other thing that's very important is you'll basically not really be using Q in lane much. You want to just be safe, you want to be using your mana on E, and you want to be holding the threat of Q to keep people away from hard engaging on you. You'll notice that like you use a few spells and you go completely out of mana. E is the only spell that really has a reasonable mana cost in lane on Annie, and Q you can't use a poke like ever. It's just not viable. You'll go out of mana in like 2 casts. So that's also why you need to go into Malignance for a full mana item, because otherwise things just don't work. I don't know if I've got a good example. I'm going to skip forward here to see we've got a kill on Ashe. But the next important point with Annie Support is that your level 6 spike is huge, and that is where you want to save your flash for. The level 6 engage is huge with Annie, and notably the Q stun is also really important, because Annie is point and click, and also if for any reason your stun doesn't go through, your stun bar isn't used up. So that's another thing I want to talk about Annie Support quickly, because obviously it's Annie, it's a pretty simple champion, you flash tibbers them, there's not much further to go in here, but one interesting mechanic for Annie with the Q is that when you use the Q, if they Zyre ult or Fizzy or just get out of range for any reason, your stun doesn't get used up unless your stun actually hits them. That's when you're using Q. If you miss with W or whatever, that's just you missed it, so try and use Q for the main stun, especially after flashing. You want to press Q on someone when they're out of range, and then as Annie starts to walk towards them, press flash, and you will Q as soon as you get into range with the stun. Yeah, that's mostly it. That's mostly what I wanted to talk about with Annie Support. It's mostly notable for having Deathfire Touch, enabling it again now, and your other rune choices you want are the the ultimate hat, whatever it's called, because Annie just is really tibbers based, so you want the extra ult damage and cooldown. You want celerity, because one of the important things to notice in this game was how much I was spacing on the Lulu and Ashe. This is really the crux of the pick. You want to be really annoying in that like pre-level 4, level 5 range, so that you have enough room to safely scale to level 6. You want to be getting a good lead there, and then once you get 6 you want to be getting a kill. Secondary runes is pretty flexible. I often go the yellow tree, precision tree, just because cut down and The ability haste rune are just good choices, they're pretty efficient, but you could probably make arguments for maybe bone plating versus hard engage, or probably you could just, if you want the gold max, you can grab the boots, magical footwear, and flash cooldown rune. Yeah, I think that mostly covers it. Go play any support, it's really good right now.